Person-centred reviews in home care. Meet Edie. Edie is 96 years old and is very proud of her independence and the fact that she still lives in the same house that she was born in. Edie loves a good chat with anyone who visits and always has a kind word for everyone. Edie sees her son Frank every Saturday and speaks to him on the phone most evenings. Edie also has a close relationship with her great-nephew Carl, who pops around 4 or 5 times a week, and she enjoys a good catch-up with her great-niece Michelle, who calls around every 4 to 6 weeks. Edie's next-door neighbour Amanda usually pops in for 5 or 10 minutes every day to see if there's anything she needs from the shops. Edie has been having home care visits 3 times a day for the past 6 months, following a period of reablement after she had a fall in her home. She's lost a lot of confidence and is spending much of her day in bed, which is in the lounge. She's also lost a lot of weight and is prescribed supplement drinks. Frank is concerned that his mum isn't eating enough and that she feels lonely, as she's told him that it feels like a very long day if she doesn't get to have a good chat with anyone. Frank rings the home care manager, who tells him that Edie is due for a review meeting and that this would be a good time to discuss how things are going with Edie. She talks to Frank about who to invite and checks Edie's relationship circle. Edie says she would like Frank, Carl and Michelle to come. Edie's person-centred review meeting is held in her lounge over a cup of tea and a biscuit. The manager asks what's working for Edie and what's not working, and asks firstly what Edie's perspective is, before then asking what Frank and the family think. Edie says that the carers who come to visit her are lovely and can't do enough for her, although it would be nice if they could stop and sit for a few minutes with her while she has a cup of tea. Frank says that he's pleased that the staff ring him if they're worried about anything, and also that they've been encouraging Edie to get out of bed each day. He's still worried, however, that Edie is losing weight despite the supplement drinks she's having. He's also noticed that when he visits at the weekend, there is often uneaten food on the side table next to Edie. Michelle is pleased that Carl is able to visit so often and thinks this is really working as it lifts her spirits. But she's also noticed that Edie isn't answering the phone anymore unless there's somebody with her at the time that it rings. The manager says that the carers all say what a lovely lady Edie is and that she has a warm smile for everyone. They've reported that when eating, Edie can quickly become tired and forget to finish her meal. The manager checks that Edie's outcomes have stayed the same. When Edie first started having home care visits, she and her family were clear that she wanted to stay living in her own home for as long as she was able to. Edie says that this is still what she wants to do, but she would also like a change of scenery now and again, and it would be really nice if she could get out in a wheelchair to visit the local market when the weather is warm. The manager then asks Edie and the family about what actions they would like to create to help Edie to do this, and that will also address some of the things that aren't working for her. It's clear that Edie isn't eating well, and that being left to finish her meal by herself isn't working. She says that she's going to instruct the carers to always sit with Edie and chat with her while she finishes her meal and supplement drink. She says that this will be added to the How Best to Support section of Edie's one-page profile. Michelle suggests that Edie isn't answering the phone when she's alone because she's worried about having another fall, and also because Edie's now having trouble hearing it ring. Michelle suggests that the house phone is moved next to the bed so that Edie can answer it without having to get out of bed, and Frank says that he'll sort that out today. Frank and Carl also say that they will ask Edie if she fancies a trip to the market at least once a week if the weather is mild enough. At the end of the meeting, the manager summarises what has been agreed around Edie's outcomes and actions and what this means in relation to the tasks that the home care staff need to do. Everybody is left clear about who is going to do what and by when. Another approach that you could use in a person-centred review is the if I could, I would question. We didn't use this with Edie, but if we had, she might have said going back to church and having communion. In a person-centred review, we pay attention to the must-dos to ensure that we're helping people to stay healthy, safe and well. but we can also discover what else the person might want to do. By using the if I could, I would question, we might learn that there are things that we could do, or there might be other people at the review who could help, such as family and friends. Or we might be able to signpost the person to things that they could explore for themselves. Person-centred reviews change what's not working, but they also help us to see just how far we can go within the hours, resources and connections that the person has.